Welcome back. She's a doctor, mother, businesswoman, community leader. She's a member of the United States House of Representatives from the 19th Congressional District from New York. She's Nan Hayworth. Congresswoman, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Roger. Glad to be with you.
Thank you. On the Forbes magazine, they're talking about a survey that Fortune 100 survey that employers could drop their employee health coverage.
Yeah.
And they would save $28.6 billion in 2014 and $422 billion between 2014 and 2023 if they just paid the fines and dropped the coverage. Isn't this what was designed? Isn't this how Obamacare was designed?
Well, if it wasn't designed that way, Roger, let's just put it this way, then it certainly should have been anticipated. And we know that people who oppose this plan from the start, not because they oppose doing far better things in our health care financing, which we do need to do in our health insurance plans, but this was the wrong way to do it, and people said it from the start. This is entirely predictable.
Congresswoman Nan Hayworth.
They're lose the coverage that they like. If they like their plan, unfortunately what the president said at the time, they are not going to be able to keep it. Most of them won't.
He said it 10,000 times. This plan, and he said you're going to be able to keep this plan. Period. Your plan you like, and the doctor you like, and so forth and so on. And it's absolute. Didn't we say at the time? I heard a ton of people in Congress and a ton of people around the country saying at the time, look, if you make it cheaper to just pay a fine, aren't you giving them an economic incentive to the employer to dump the coverage?
Of course. Yes, absolutely. So most Americans will end up with their insurance coming somehow through the government, through some combination of state and federal mechanisms. And what this is going to end up being analogous to is the National Health Service in Britain. There'll be a very thin layer of Americans who will have really private insurance, and the rest of us will have government insurance, in which case the government starts making the decisions for us. And that's not what Americans are going to like. It's not what they're going to welcome, and they're going to have a very unpleasant surprise come 2014.
Congresswoman Nan Hayworth, so what's the answer here? I mean, I was talking to Speaker Boehner when he was out here helping my local congressman, Brian Bilbray, and we had this little conversation about this, and, he's saying repeal the whole thing, but, so far, it hasn't been repealed, and it hasn't been sent to the Senate. I mean, have you guys got a strategy for this?
Well, we do have replacement principles, and we do have some specific plans that we will be ready to consider. There's the House Doctors Caucus. I'm a member of that. Members of the House Doctors Caucus have worked on a variety of alternative bills, and the three principles that someone like me would espouse, I'm not alone, but I'm just speaking for myself as a member of the Doctors Caucus, the three things we want to see are we want health insurance to be affordable and portable for individuals so that it doesn't necessarily have to be tied to their place of employment, although employers can offer it. I would say health savings accounts should be the way most of us should finance our health care, and we can have those health savings accounts the way they do in the state of Indiana with Healthy Indiana for state employees and state Medicaid recipients. We need to open up the insurance marketplace so people can buy true catastrophic insurance so that they don't have to worry about those great big expenses. We can have high-risk pools for folks who really, truly have trouble finding insurance because it is costly for some folks with very costly pre-existing conditions. We can help them. We can help them, Roger, for far less than the cost of this tremendously expensive trillion-dollar bureaucracy that we're going to create to try to administer everybody's health insurance, and we need true liability reform.
Has this, and I agree with all those points. We're with Congresswoman Nan Hayworth here from New York. And Congresswoman, I agree with all those points. And has there been a bill crafted and passed through the House of Representatives, which is controlled by the Republicans, that would express to the American people that we have this alternative?
We have not passed a specific bill that presents an entire alternative health care plan. We did, as you know, Roger, we passed a repeal measure with replacement instructions to the committees of jurisdiction in January of 2011. And, of course, it was not passed by the Senate. Didn't mean it was a symbolic vote on behalf of the House. It wasn't, but it didn't pass the Senate. But now we've got a very big opportunity coming up as of June, because I think most folks are anticipating that the individual mandate will be found unconstitutional.
But whether or not, we only have a minute, but our second here, but whether or not, Congresswoman Hayworth, the Supreme Court acts as we hope they do, I think the Republicans need to have that alternative on the table.
Right. Heard and understood, Roger, and I will keep working toward that goal because I agree we have lots of great ideas and great principles, and we can certainly craft a plan.
Appreciate your time today. Thanks for being with us. Congresswoman Nan Hayworth, back after this.
Roger Hedgecock.